Redemption summer. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because last summer was a bit challenging for me. I had a, there's really no other way to say this, but I had a mental breakdown. And I wish I meant the internet kind. I wish I meant like a MenTV, right? I wish that's what I meant, but it's unfortunately not. I had I got diagnosed with OCD, and but it all started, like, the tipping point, the breakdown, where so many others have broken down before me. The Hamptons. I'm joining a long list of just Real Housewives and beautiful women. No, but they say medically, like, if you're 20-something in the Hamptons in the summer at a share house with your friends and a Rent the Runway subscription and you're not having fun, get that looked at. Get that looked at, because that is actually a really bad sign. It's a really bad sign. Did you guys know you could be kicked out of a bar for crying? Oh, turns out you can, right? I was at this place, the Montauk. It's like this seafood restaurant turned day club, and it just took over. I mean, it was like a 10 out of 10 panic attack. I started having one at this restaurant, and it got so bad I had to put down my shrimp po' boy. Okay? And I had to excuse myself. Because I was doing that thing where it's like, your heart is beating a million miles a minute, and you're like cold, you're sweating, you're freaking out, you're crying, and it's the type where your breathing starts to sound like, that might just be me, but it was a full thing. So I excused myself, I go outside, and I'm just trying to collect myself, and I'm approached by this woman. And one thing that's really incredible is that an NYU doctor can look like anything in the wild. They can look like anything in the wild. And this particular NYU physician, she had space buns and a purple smoky eye. And she had been drinking, but bless her heart, she really did want to help, okay? She really did. And she was trying to give me some breathing exercises, and she was telling me you have to pretend like you're breathing through a straw. You have to pretend like you're breathing through a straw. So at some point, the bouncer walked over, and it is one drunk bitch teaching another sobbing woman how to breathe. we got kicked out on a technicality. It was intense. It was really rough. I had to stop working. My parents flew in. I had to start at this, inpatient center. It gets funny, but it was a really scary time. And I feel like when I first approached it, I was so afraid. Now I love my therapist, but I was so afraid the first time. I just felt so insecure. Now I feel like whenever I go back in now, I'm like ashing my cig, like, what are you in here for? And the new people who are coming through. I love my therapist so much. One thing she does she's got to knock it off with this is when you're like in the waiting room and they come out and they're like, Sarah? And you're like, hi. And they're like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like collecting my things, getting my bag, getting my coat. I'm like, it's good. Don't ask me out here. How am I? Save it! We're in the room. We're about to spend 90 minutes talking about all the ways my brain is trying to destroy my life. Don't ask me out here. She's incredible. After the holidays, the first thing she asked at my first session back was, so did you and your cousins end up learning the choreography to Troye Sivan's Rush? And I was like, I knew you were writing down the important things. I knew you were. She's incredible. I used to say her name on stage, and I have to stop. She did start doing this really cool thing though, where she was like, only if you feel comfortable with it, I'd really like to look up some of your stand-up. And I was like, absolutely, girl. And we have this thing where I'm like, you're getting backstage passes if I'm ever at MSG, okay? You saved my life. I owe her everything. She really is incredible. So one of the things that I've been doing is a part of, my recovery process they suggested is like a lot of people really benefit from working with horses, equine therapy. And okay. Okay, I'm getting a few stickers like you guys don't think I can handle a horse. And if so much as one of you comes up to me after the show and goes, doesn't John Mulaney talk about equine therapy in his special? Different horses, okay? They're different horses, it doesn't count. Listen, I went a different route. I now work at Gallup NYC, proud volunteer. It is a nonprofit. We do horseback riding for disabled children. And I also do a lot of barn work, kind of in the stalls and stuff, you guys, let me tell you this, y'all wouldn't know me at the barn, okay? Y'all might not recognize me at the barn. I'm a different person. I am from Texas, and my southern accent is activated by the smell of manure. I take 14 stops on the A train deep into Queens, and when I get there, I feel like, you know that song that's like, nothing but a t-shirt on, that's so beautiful. That's me at the barn. You know the senior picture pose that goes like this? That's me at the barn. Does that make sense? That's me at the barn. And it has to be the same part of my brain that thinks I should be able to like stand on an elevated surface with a mic and talk to this many people, but I walk past these horses like, probably your favorite though, right? And we're not allowed to like do certain things. They're like on a strict diet and this and that. Because if it was up to me, I'd bring carrots every day, I turn into like a southern grandma. I see these horses and I'm like, Betty, you look skinny. Ain't nobody likes bones but a dog. Let me fix you a plate. I'm gonna fix you a plate. I love them so much. And who knew? Who knew I'd be good at this? I've had to take a lot of like training courses, but now I really enjoy it. I lead these horses, I lead these lessons, I work with these kids. It's like me, an ancient horse, and a wiggly kid, and I'm like, I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. And when I started working there, they kind of asked if I had any experience with horses, and I said, I actually grew up in Houston. We have the largest rodeo. That's actually not their question, girl. Did you participate? No, I was an observer, but I love the sport, a rodeo. And I've worked many events. And no, the closest thing I've ever come to participating in rodeo is something you can do when you're a little kid. You only get 2 years to do this, ages 5 and 6, and it's something called mutton busting. Is anybody familiar? Clap if you've ever heard of mutton busting. Okay, that's my tribe back there. Okay, so mutton busting so what it is you get volunteers whose parents have consented, okay? And that's really important when I tell this to the New York crowds, because sometimes y'all are a little iffy on the rodeo, I used to have this whole bit about how my favorite was team roping. It's fine, okay. Okay, you're 5 or 6. They put you in a helmet. They put you in a protective vest. They put you on a sheep. There is no saddle. There are no reins. They just say, hold on to the fleece. And then you just kind of let the sheep go. And you see how long the kid can hold on. And there isn't a finish line per se, because they all fall off. 100% fall off. But it's how far can you go? And it's a beautiful sport. It really is. It is good stuff. They do it I'm telling you, like at the professional Houston rodeo, millions of dollars are being won. And while they set up the concert at the end of the night, we bring out these group of kids who are all named like McKaylee Lynn and Reddington, And I went this past March. and the little kid who won, they were interviewing him at the end because they get a belt buckle and everything. It's very official. And they were asking him, they were like, so, like, how'd you get so good at this? And he was like, well, I practiced. And they were like, do you have sheep? How'd you practice? And he's like, no, I practice inside. And it was like, that didn't answer the question either. And they were like, I don't know. And before this interviewer could ask the next question, he goes, yeah, my daddy and I have been working on it. I make him get on all fours and we do laps in the living room. That is beautiful and that is dedication. But anyways, that was a huge part of my recovery process. So shout out to all the horses. While I was already in this, I mean, I'm already off work. I'm already going to therapy 4 times a week, doing all of this, almost as if I was shot while already in a hospital. I was held at knife point on the subway. Can you believe my luck? Can you believe my luck? Incredible. You might wonder yourself, like, what would you do in that situation? Fight, flight, freeze. I did something worse. I did improv. Tell me why I faked an accent. I faked an accent. This guy is gesturing at me with the knife, and I was like, what? I don't speak English. He's like, use your context clues. I'm like, I don't speak English. I remember running through a turnstile. I found this girl. She helped me out. We were going through it. I'm like, I love your shoes. It was the summer of Barbie. And we get out. She's like, you should call someone. I call my dad, and his reaction over the phone verbatim was, oh, nuts. That's kind of what you say if you lose a game of Uno, right? My life was at risk. He's like, you better skedaddle. All right, you guys, thank you